This is video number 2 on chapter 2 of Access, part B in the Go Office 2010 textbook. I'm on activity 2.17 using comparison operators on page 540. And let me see, we want to continue on the query that we were working on before. So here's our query, and in the criteria row we want to click the existing criteria and make it greater than 300. So just put a greater than symbol and click the run button, and all of these are greater than 300. And now let's go back to design view, and now they're going to have us do less than 300 and run that, and we've got 11 that are less than 300. And we're going to go back to design view, and we're going to do greater than or equal to. The relational operators in here are the same as they were in Excel. Oh, and by the way, earlier I forgot to put ascending in here, I think on the previous video. So this sorts the results by sport. So we'll do greater than or equal to 300, and I think we had 5 that were 300 and 14 that were over 300. So if we add those together, we should get 19, I think, when we do this. And yes, we do get 19. Let's go back to design view. And now we're going to save this as, let's close it, and it'll ask us if we want to save it. Yes, we do. And I'm at the top of page 541. We want to call this $300 or more query, and click on OK. And here's our query, and it's listed over here underneath the table that it's associated with. Okay, now we're in activity 2.18 on page 541. We want to select this query. We're going to make a copy of it here. So go to our File tab and do a Save Object As. I don't want the whole database, I just want to save this one thing. And instead of calling it Copy, we're going to call it Awards, August to September. And then we're going to click on OK. And then we're going to go back to our Home tab. And now we've got another query here. Right now these two are exactly the same. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to design view for this. You can right click on it and choose design view. That's another way to get in design view. And now what we're going to do is for the criteria, we need to add another field here, award date. And we want items that are going to be between, you see, 8/1/16. So I want to type between and 9/30/16. Okay. And we also want to delete the existing criteria in the amount column. And if I widen this a little bit, now I can see the whole thing. And something you'll notice is that in Access, whenever you have a date, you must put pound signs around it. Now sometimes Access will do that for you, and sometimes you have to do it yourself. If you see a date without pound signs around it, you'll need to put them in yourself. Otherwise, it interprets this as 8 divided by 1 divided by 2016, which is definitely not what we want. Now I'm on the top of page 542, and it says to run this query. So let's go ahead and run the query. And it looks like we only have, I'm getting 2 scholarships, and they had 3. So let's go back to design view here, and I typed this wrong. This should have been 30. Now let's run it and see what we get. Now we get 3 records, and it lists it down here. And let's go ahead and close this. And we will save the changes, and that's the end of 2.18. Okay, activity 2.19. We're going to create a new query. We'll do the query design. And we're going to use AND criteria. This again is exactly the same as it was in Excel. AND means both, OR means either. And I want to add the scholarships awarded. And then I want to close this. And as always, we'll make this a little bigger here so we can see everything. And we want to add scholarship name, sport, and amount in that order. And in the criteria row, in the sport field, we're going to type football. And in the amount field, we're going to type greater than 500. And we're going to click on Run. And we get 2 records, which is what it says we should get. And if you have, let's go back to design view here. If you have items on the same row for criteria, they're understood to be connected by the word AND. So both of those things have to be true. I want football scholarships that are over 500. If I have a football scholarship but it's not over 500, it won't be selected. If I have something that's over 500 but it's not football, that will not be selected. Both of these conditions have to be true in order for me to actually get the correct result. Okay, so now we want to save this. So let's just go up here and try to close it. And yes, we want to save the changes. And this is going to be football over and over 500. And click on OK. And that takes us to activity 2.20 on page 543. And the question we want to answer here is which scholarships over 400 were awarded in the sports of baseball or swimming, and what is the award date of each? So we're going to create a brand new query again. Go to Query Design, and we're going to add scholarships awarded by double clicking on it, and then close our Show Table window and resize this again. And we add the following fields: scholarship, name, sport, amount, and award date. And in the criteria row for sport, we're going to put baseball. And on the next row, we're going to type swimming. And if I run that, everybody that I get back should be baseball or swimming. Okay. Now, that's not all that we want. We also want the scholarships that are over 400. So I'm going to put greater than 400 here for the amount. And if I run this, here's my baseball over 400. But I've got a couple of swimming in there that are not over 400. So what's going on? Well, here's what's going on. These two are connected by the word and this is basically, this row here is basically one rule that is used to determine whether we're going to select a record or not. If this rule matches, then fine. What we'll do is we'll select the row. If it does not, then we'll go to the next row and see if this works. Well, this one just says swimming. It doesn't say anything about the amount. The amount needs to be greater than 400 on this row as well. And this is something that we kind of ran into, I think, when we were doing spreadsheets. This was when we were doing advanced filters. You had to remember to put the criteria on both rows. Now if I run, I'm going to get a completely different answer. There is one baseball scholarship over 400, and there's one swimming scholarship that's over 400. On number 5 on page 543, they talk about another way to do it. I'd prefer that you not do it that way. I think it's easier to do it the way that we just did it here. And we're going to save this now. And yes, we want to call it swimming or baseball over $400, 400. And click on OK or hit the Enter key. And that's just about 10 minutes, so we'll stop this and we will continue with the third video over Access Project 2B.